If you're fucking Mexican, you know damn well on Saturdays your fucking family's gonna wake you up to start fucking cleaning. Once you hear this type of music, time to get your ass up the bed and start fucking cleaning.
Hey guys,
She's Lula, where you at? Where you been at? We need to forget all that makeup tutorial shit. Do fucking vlogs and activities. Very first paranormal story time. Before we begin the video, I'm just gonna ask y'all go get y'all food, go get y'all drinks, go get whatever you want to munch on while watching this video. Let's go ahead and eat. So before I begin, I'm gonna let you guys know why I have my rosary with me. A few things started happening while I was in the process of filming this video. So just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna be doing my story time while I have my rosary with me. The first thing I'm gonna talk about is the first time I experienced something paranormal. Now this story you guys might say, well, there's a scientific reason for that. You know, you were probably asleep or whatever the case you believe in. I'm gonna let you guys know that I know I was awake and I know what I felt and I knew I was conscious of what was going on around that time. So first time I had sleep paralysis. Now sleep paralysis in Spanish, what we call it is que se te subió el muerto. In English, it's called when the dead got on top of you. So the first time that que se me subió el muerto, I'm gonna tell you guys right now. So make sure y'all pray before y'all go to sleep, because don't be blaming me in case something started coming at you at night. Or que se te subió el muerto. Don't be fucking blaming me. Alright, this was when we first moved in my house. I was sleeping in my room was on the left side of the house. I really didn't like the room because it kind of felt kind of weird, like we're vibe in that room. One night I was having a bad nightmare. I remember that I woke up from the nightmare because I couldn't handle it no more. That night, the nightmare was very bad, so I tried to get up, to try to turn on the lights because I knew I wasn't gonna go back to sleep. But I couldn't fucking move at all. I feel like I was getting claustrophobic because so much weight was on top of me, pushing me down in my bed, and I couldn't get up or I could barely move. I tried calling my mom and I tried screaming for her name, but I couldn't even say nothing. Like, I'm telling you guys, like, I feel like I was paralyzed from my speaking and from even moving. So the only thing I could barely move was I could barely kind of lift up my head or barely move my fingers and my toes. That's the only thing I could barely move. So when I kind of put my head up by the edge of my feet, I noticed something was like real dark. It didn't have no shape or figure or anything like that. It was just like that spot was all black. So I was kind of freaking out and I was like, oh shit, like I was screaming in the inside, trying to get up, trying to yell for my mom, but I couldn't get nothing out of my voice, nor my mom could hear anything. You know when somebody gets on your bed and, like, for example, they put their hand on your bed and your bed sinks, or when somebody sits on your bed it sinks. Now I started feeling something like it was beginning around my feet and it just kept going up and up and up, but it was like if somebody was like climbing on my bed. So I fucking knew right then and there. I was like, this is a fucking ghost or demon, whatever it is. It's gonna fucking kill me or it's gonna take my soul away. I was like, I'm fucking dead. I knew that something was like right on my face. So I remember I was just kept praying and praying and praying for a good minute, and all of a sudden I felt my bed go up. Like I felt such relief, like somebody took all that weight up from me. I tried to get up to try to go get my mom. I was so scared that in my head I was just like, if I get up and try to run to the door, what if it comes back and just pulls me or like throws me or whatever. I was like, I'm not gonna risk it. So I just decided to cover myself in the covers and just end up falling asleep. The next day I went to go tell my mom everything. I told her I didn't want to be in that room. She wanted to go and bless that room, so we went to go get holy water and we started blessing the whole house and we blessed that room. But I still didn't think that I would be safe, so on the safe side I told her I just want to switch rooms. So I ended up switching rooms, and thank God nothing has happened to me in my room. The only thing that I do have, guys, is that I have fucking nightmares. I always have the same fucking nightmare. There's times where I do have different nightmares, but and what I'm talking about is that my house is haunted by either ghost or demon, whatever the case is haunted. But you know how typical places where usually it will be haunted will be the attic or the basement or the garage? No, it's nothing like that. And my dream is always in my old room where I had the experience with the sleep paralysis. It's always in that fucking room. I'm telling you, like, it even gets me fucking frustrated because it's always in that fucking room. We blessed the house, we blessed the room and everything. I don't know why do I keep having nightmares in that room? The case is that I try to turn on the light, or the lights will never turn on. You know, it's always dark and it's always fucking cold, and I can hear something that's in that room. There's certain times where I did have the nightmare where it got physical with me. If you guys have had experienced any sleep paralysis where the dead got on top of you, go ahead and comment below and let me know if you have any stories about your family who told you that about their experience. The next thing I'm going to talk about is brujeria. Now, brujeria is witchcraft, when people try to use black magic against you, who wants to see you fail, who wants to see you suffer, or anybody around you suffer, or even worse, who wants to see you dead. Now, brujeria is very bad. My initial plan was to tell you guys everything about brujeria, what I went through, what my family went through. I decided not to talk so much about it because I didn't want to make things worse. You know, I was around that time. If you guys been embrujados, if you knew that somebody was doing brujeria on you, you know damn well that you feel so horrible. Like, you know when somebody is doing something to you, because you just feel so down, you feel angry every fucking day. You just feel like you're not yourself anymore. Like, it's such a horrible experience, and I wouldn't want anybody to experience that, because so I'd rather just not give it that power or try to make anything worse. So what I might say is that, you know, there was a point where I saw Lechuza, my old room, by the window, having my picture in a candle wrapped around with the red ribbon, our family's pictures, and they found, you know, we're having their pictures buried on the ground. If you guys know what I'm talking about, you guys know what I'm talking about, the brujeria, all that shit, like, that's crazy, man. So I'm just gonna leave it like that, brujeria. I'm just not gonna talk too much about it. I'm just gonna change the subject. So now I'm gonna talk about two stories that are from my hometown in Mexico. Now, the first one I'm gonna talk about is in our hometown in Mexico. Now, this bridge is called Puente de Batanes. Now, this bridge is old, been there for so many fucking years, like decades. This bridge is so narrow that only one car can go at a time. Not only it's on top of a little creek. Now, the creek in our hometown, when we get heavy rain, that creek gets so fucking filled. The current is just so strong and so heavy that if you fall, you're gonna be dead instantly, because there's so many big rocks down there, and that shit will just wash you away. It's that strong. Allegedly, the story goes that back in the time when the architect first built the bridge, they had experienced a very heavy rain. What happened to the bridge is that the current of the water was so strong that it just started knocking down the bridge. So the bridge got destroyed. So the architect, you know, just kept rebuilding it, and it kept getting destroyed, rebuilding it, kept getting destroyed, so on and so on. So allegedly is that one night the architect was so frustrated and was like to the point where he didn't know what else to do to keep that bridge strong, because the people needed, you know, that's the way of transportation, so they needed that bridge. So allegedly is that he was seeking out for answers, and he ended up receiving an answer. Now, only did he receive an answer, or he says that one night he was visited by the devil himself. The devil decided, you know, to have a conversation with him and give him a deal, and telling him the secrets of how he should build a bridge in order for it to stay strong and never be getting destroyed ever again. So the story goes that the architect decided to hear him out, and they ended up making the pact. Now, the pact was that the devil told him that he had to bury children on that bridge. To this day, I don't know how he did it. My cousin told me, will always stick to me to this day, he had put the kids to hold up something, and he poured cement on them, but while they're alive. That's the story she told me, and I will stick to that one. But nobody knows how he did it, but he put kids on that bridge, and to this day that bridge is still standing. When I went over to that bridge, I thought I was gonna destroy that fucking bridge. I thought it was gonna collapse, fat ass, but no, surprisingly that bridge hold my fat ass strong. So apparently that there's been a lot of people around my hometown who's been finding skeletons and human remains on that bridge, not only around the bridge but inside the bridge. So I know that they've been finding, you know, kids bones on that bridge, and probably like adult bones. Now, the second story I'm talking about is around the 80s. My mom was born in 1978, and she told me this story herself. So this is my mom's story when she hasn't even hit the early teens yet. So she told me that, and apparently this story is true. So I need my rosary for this one, because deal with an exorcism. So you guys are ready? Go grab your crucifix before we begin the story, or go grab your holy water, go grab whatever you want, so you guys make sure that you guys are safe while I'm gonna tell you guys a story, because I got mine, and this is blessed. This is blessed from Italy, so I'm good. So I'm gonna tell you guys, around the late 80s, my mom was, you know, still a kid. My grandma and my mom, they lived like walking distance, 15 minutes from the main church in downtown in our small town. In our pueblo, centro, the main church was in el centro in our town. So apparently it's that there's so many tunnels underground that is connected to the church and the city, that the tunnels are so huge that it's like another fucking city down there, and you can get on your horse and ride your horse down there. It's like that big, it's like so tall and so wide. Church has so many tunnels underground. There was a lot of word about a girl who was being possessed, and this story they call her la endiablada. You know, the girl was being held under the tunnels under the church, and while they were being perform an exorcism on her. The story goes that my mom tells me that my grandma, this one day, she sends my mom go get a sweet Mexican bread, which is pan dulce. She sends her go get the pan dulce in la panaderia. So my mom was walking, before she even got to the panaderia, she had to stop because she got so scared. Like this, she's telling me that this scared the shit out of her, and to this day she will still be afraid and she'll remember this because it was so horrible. It's like she got affected by it that my mom would never fucking watch anything that has to do with exorcisms, you know, movies, Ouija boards, and nothing like that. So she doesn't like that shit because of what she went through as a kid. That she had to stop because she heard a loud ass scream. I'm telling you, like, it's a loud ass scream. She said that it sounded like a girl, but it sounded like there was something with the girl. So it was like two voices screaming at the same time. Now she heard the girls, it was so loud. Now reminded that the church is like 15 minutes away, walking distance from them. So she said it was so loud that it sounded like it was like around the corner. But this other sound, the entity that was with it, it was so horrible. I played one of the demon screams that usually that they have in scary movies. She said that that's even worse than that. Something that you will never hear in this world that's not natural or part of this world. So she said that she got so scared that she started shaking so hard, and she was looking around her, and a lot of people that was walking, they got so scared and they started praying and they started blessing the air and they started blessing themselves. So they knew what was going on. They just didn't want to talk about it, but once they heard it, they went straight to praying. So she told me that she decided to go running back home. She said, fuck that bread, I'm just gonna go back home. So she comes running, and my grandma comes out the house. My grandma is like, are you okay? You know, making sure my mom is okay. And my mom was like, yeah. So they're telling me that they went back inside the house and they started praying. Allegedly, the story that I heard from somebody else is that they got rid of the demon out of the girl, but she died while they did succeed to take out the demon out of her. So what they did, two of the priests who was performing the exorcism on her decided to close themselves with the girl on one of the tunnels. They completely closed themselves out and they were locked inside that tunnel. You know, they were trying to keep from the evil from ever escaping out of the tunnels or going to, you know, to the town. So allegedly is that the three bodies are still in one of the tunnels. So that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you subscribe and comment below your experiences, and if you want me to do any stories later on, make sure you comment below and let me know. Y'all, let's talk about my Halloween aesthetic.